Welcome back to the channel. Oh goodness, I'm so excited to talk with you today because we're still in our house to home series. We're gonna be here for a little while, at least on Tuesday evenings. Our house to home is what it's gonna be because it's gonna take me forever to get this house together. So today we're in the kitchen, and today you're gonna see me install hardware. You might get to see me mess up a couple of cabinets. Y'all, this took me, no lie, probably 4 days to do it. I'm still not done. So the only parts of the kitchen that have hardware are the cabinet doors. The drawers do not have hardware, and it's for a couple of reasons. So one reason being, I'm still not 100% sure if I want to do the same hardware. I don't know if you can see this, but this is like the pool, and it's got a knurl. I really love this. On the doors, it's 7 inches. On the drawer, however, I wanted to kind of go with like a single pool, and I got this single pool, but it's a lot smaller than what I thought I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna let you guys help me figure this out today. Because yeah, I can't figure it out. So I'll show you what it looks like when we do the walk around tour, but I'm not sure what I want to do. I do like these, but I think with their size, they might be better suited for the bathroom, but I'll let you guys tell me when we do a close-up. In addition to that, I installed some under cabinet lighting over by the stove. So behind me where the hutch is, that came with under cabinet lighting, and I almost added under cabinet lighting with the builder. To hardwire it with the builder, it would have been $300 per section. So it would have been $600 total in the 2 areas where I have installed it now. And I spent $70 with some LED lights that I found on Amazon, and I absolutely love them. Now, granted, it's not hardwired, but they're remote controlled, and they're not battery powered, they're USB charged. So if the battery goes down, I can just charge them up. And they look amazing. I can set them on a timer. I can set them to be by motion. They add a total vibe to the kitchen, and I am absolutely obsessed. So I saved myself some coins there. And then yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all we're gonna do today. I have to decide on 2 things. If I'm gonna do the single pool, I still need, screws are a problem. So with these lights, you get, not lights, with these knobs, you get 2 sets of screws. You get a 1 inch and then like a 1 3/4 inch screw. The 1 inch is perfect for the doors, but the 1 3/4 inch is way too long. And it's too long for both the doors, the cabinet doors, and the drawers. And the 1 inch screw is not long enough for the drawer. So I've either got to, if I'm going to use these pulls on the drawers, which I may, if I'm going to use these pulls on the drawers, or even if I decide to use this single pull, I'm still going to have to get a slightly shorter screw, or I'm going to have to find a mechanism to help me cut the screws, because the screws that come with them are these screws that can be popped off and change the size, but it's really hard. It's so hard that I hurt myself last night trying to break the screw with my hands and a pair of pliers, and I had to take some Tylenol and go to sleep, which is why I didn't get finished installing this stuff until today, which is why your video is probably late as well, because editing. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do in the kitchen today. I'm really excited. Even with the small changes that I've made, like, it's a vibe at night. I do have some decor, but we'll do decor in next week's video, because what's left in the kitchen is the drawer pulls, of course. I also have some 12-inch pulls that we're gonna do for the larger drawers, for the pot pans up under the stove and up under the oven, that I'm ordering from Amazon. The pendant lights are here, but they're still not installed. So I want to get those pendant lights installed. And then we're gonna change out the faucet. I waited to see what I was gonna do with the faucet because I didn't know if I wanted it to be brass or if I wanted it to be black, or if I wanted it to be black and brass. So I'm waiting to get all of the rest of the hardware installed before I make a final decision. And you can chime in on that in the comments as well. I'm leaning towards a black and brass, but I want to get the pendants installed. I want to get the rest of the hardware installed before I make my final decision. So that's what we're going to do today. You might get to see me do a little bit of cleaning. I am so tired. Y'all, I mean, this little bitty project probably has taken a few days to accomplish just with stopping and starting. And it has taken the majority of today to get done. So I do love it so far though. So I don't know if you'll get a night shot because the night shot that I have is sized for Instagram. So I may put in the night shot. If not, then make sure you're following me over on the Instagram because I'll put in a night shot as well with the lights because they a banger. They completely changed the game in the kitchen. So that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let you get into today's video. All right, friends, so in order for us to start this process, we're doing two things today. Let me turn you just a little bit. I know, all up in the camera. Hey, girl. So in order to get this party started, there's a couple of things that we're going to do. So first of all, let me show you this gorgeous hardware that I got from the Amazon streets. Anything that I share in the videos, I will have linked down below. In addition to that, I've got my like to know it. I've always had it. I've just never really done much with it. I'll be starting once the final looks come together. I'll be taking pictures and kind of linking there as well. So if you're on Reward Style or like to know it, be sure to follow your girl over there as well. I'll leave the link down below. But first of all, we are going to install this hardware. Look. Hopefully you can see this, but look at that. Ain't she cute? So this is 7-inch hardware. It's 5-inch holes between, and I've got some tools that I'm going to share with you as well to kind of help me get this job done. Real quick, I got those for all of the pantries. I've got 2 longer drawers here though, up under the stove that I'm not going to install them on. And there's 1 drawer front that's going to be replaced that I'm not going to install on today as well. I'm thinking about getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Thinking about getting some appliance hardware to go on these 2 drawers. They're just wide. And even though these are longer, I still feel like they need a longer pull. I don't think it's going to be long enough. So I'm probably going to wait to install those. And we'll do that in a later video. I'll update you on what that looks like in a later video. But these come with a couple of side screws. I'll likely have to use the longer ones because my drawers are longer. So we'll probably be using those to get these installed. So to install it, let me get my little toolbox. So to get it installed, I use my tape measure to measure out the middle of the drawer, and I just mark it off. And then I use that tool, and then we drill it in with the power drills. We'll use like a small bit. I want to say for this one, I'll probably do like a 1/16 or even, it'll even be, yeah, I'll probably do like a 1/16 on the drill bit, just so that there's a small hole that I pre-drill. And then once we're ready to install, I'll screw it in with the regular, because I think this is a 1/8 or half an inch screw, something like that. So yeah, so we're gonna pre-drill the holes. We're gonna mark off all the drawers using this, pre-drill the holes, and then we'll install the hardware. And then in addition to that, I also got some under cabinet lighting. So when we were purchasing the home, it was an option to add under cabinet lighting under all of the cabinets. Now, I was surprised that the hutch had a light up under it. Very pretty. I love it. But it also made me realize that over here next to the stove, even though we have the lights on the hood, it's still kind of dark. So I found these LED lights on Amazon. They're $35 a box, and they are going to be having, so they're remote controlled, and they have 2 modes. They've got daylight mode or day mode and evening mode. These are the warm lights because, as you can see, I have warm lighting in my kitchen, and they're USB rechargeable. So really, really good. I'll show you what they look like before we get them installed. But I'm super excited about these. It's 3 in a box, and I got 2 boxes. They're small. I'm probably just gonna do 2 underneath each cabinet, which means I'll have 2 extra left, and I'll find somewhere else in the house to put those. But they look like this. They're no longer, like they're maybe the size of my hand plus a little bit. They stick, so they've got this sticky backing that you'll stick up under the cabinet, and then they stick via magnet. So that's really cool because you have to take them off and reinstall them quite often. The remote control is super small, and it controls all of them. So you've got your on and off button. You can do a timer if you want. That's pretty cool. It comes with the little USB charger. I think that's pretty cool. And then when you turn it on, when the blue light is on, hold tight, it told me somewhere. When the blue light is on, when you see the blue indicator, that means it's night mode. When you see the red indicator, that means it's on day mode. And then when you see the blue and red, that means it's on constant. So there's a little light in here. So if I push this button, it goes to, oh, that's blue. And then if I do that button, it's red. We'll play with it once we get it installed, but I'm super excited about these because they have quite a few lights. I don't think 1 is enough, so I'll probably install 2, but we'll play with it before we stick them on. We'll play with it and see. I've already ordered another box, so we'll see what that looks like when it gets here. So yeah, super excited. That's what we got for today. So let's get into marking these drawers and pre-drilling these holes. All right, so to get started, first of all, I didn't use the tape measure. I tried it. It was driving me absolutely crazy. I thought for sure I'd be able to use my tape measure in my little kit. That ain't working, so I'm having to go the hard route, which is why it's taking so long to do this. So what you see me doing here is marking off 1.5 inches from the edge of the pantry and 2 inches up. That's where I want my the bottom of my pool to sit. And then from there, oh, I'm sorry, not the bottom. That's where I want the first hole in the pool to sit. And then from there, I'm going to measure up 128 millimeters because that's the distance between each one of the holes. Now, the package says 5 inches, but I would encourage you with whatever you're purchasing that you read the specifications because I did mess up one of our cabinet doors because I drilled 5-inch holes, and it's indeed a little bit bigger than 5 inches. So you want to make sure you pay close attention to that because that will mess you up. I had to do some patchwork. It's fine, but you know, it was just a pain in the butt. So all you see me doing here now is I'm going to pre-drill some holes so that we can easily get the screws into the holes and attach to the hardware. Eventually, I don't know that you'll get to see it in this video because the video was so long, but eventually I moved up to my heavy duty drill and I was able to pre-drill these holes really, really quickly. But what took so long is I did a lot of measuring, checking, double checking, triple checking to make sure everything was level. It did take me a little while in the beginning to get this process up under my belt, but once I got it down, it was pretty easy. So all I'm doing here is pre-drilling the holes, making sure that they are the appropriate distance from one another. And then once the holes are pre-drilled, I'll be able to screw my handles, my hardware to the screws and attach them to the doors. Really easy process. Again, it is messy. It was dust everywhere, but you know, it is what it is. I felt like I was under construction all over again, but it is so worth it. And I so love the way these things came out. No peeking in the pantry. I'm going to be doing an organization video here coming soon. After we finish getting all of this stuff installed, we're going to go back and do some organization stuff. So no peeking. We'll talk about that later. So all I'm doing here is I'll put the screws in first, and I'll actually, if it's hard for your screws to go in on the back of the cabinets, just drill your hole back through the other side to create some more space. But all I did here was get the screw in, and then I screwed it into the actual cabinet just long enough for the edge of the screw to poke out and for it to like hook on the actual hardware. This is me creating some more space for that hole because it wouldn't go in. But all you want to do is screw that screw in far enough where it pokes out on the other side, just a tad bit. Like you just want your hardware to hook on it just a little bit. And then once it's hooked, then you can use a screwdriver to tighten it up. I do recommend you use a screwdriver just because you have more control. You don't want to over drill. But if you do have a drill, take your time and put it like on the lowest setting so that you don't over drill into your cabinets and mess up your hardware. So you'll see me here using a screwdriver to tighten up the screws. Once it's done, it'll be flush to the cabinet, and then I will follow this process for the remainder of the cabinet doors because we're not going to be installing the drawer hardware today. So bam, she's there. She's tight. I'm going to check her one more time just to make sure she is level. Bubble's good. Whoop, whoop. We're all set. All right. So I'll let you watch me do the rest. I think we'll do like one more here on camera, and then I'll come back when it's time to install the lights. All right, now let's get these lights installed. Here we go. So I'm gonna install 2 underneath each side, and they're really simple. Like they're magnetized. So like I was showing you before, you're gonna take this piece, and that's what's gonna stick to the LED lamp. You're just gonna stick it up under there. It'll be good to go, right? So first things first, I'm gonna measure because everything in design is mathematics and measuring. So I'm gonna measure the width of this upper cabinet. And then once I have that width measured, I'm then going to calculate the middle spot. And then from that middle spot, I'm going to divide that in half so I know where the middle of the magnetic strip needs to sit underneath the cabinet in order to ensure they are properly distanced apart. Yes, y'all, this is a lot of work. So I'm figuring out here how to measure to see how wide these cabinets are. I am so OCD as far as width and space planning and stuff like that is concerned. So for some people, they can eyeball it, but my OCD won't let me. Like, I have to pull out the calculator and do the math and the division and stuff like that to make sure it sits where I want it to sit. And I will measure literally 15 times. So that's what I'm doing here, just finding a spot for it, and then we'll get them installed. So I'll let you watch.
When I go with confidence, when I go with roll our hips and take a sip on it, take a trip on it. When I go, you can go slow, wind it up all night. Baby, take your time, let me know what I want. When you turn me around, what I want. When the neighbors yell turn down, we keep it going.
All right, so these little sticky things were taking me forever to get off just because my nails were so long, but geez, we finally got it off. I folded in half to put a crease in the middle, and then I put that crease over the line that I made in the back where it's supposed to go. So now here's the moment of truth. We're gonna turn down the lights, and then we're gonna turn on the under cabinet lights so you can see how they look. I like them. I like them a lot. Look at that. We got lights. So you got to play with the remote just a little bit to figure out your settings. But once I figured out how to get them to turn on and stay on, this is me playing with them. Up, down, up, down. But once I've learned the setting that it needed to be on to make them stay, it's such a vibe. Like, we're turning the lights down every night, turning these on the timer just to give us a vibe while we drink a little wine and just unwind for the day. It's amazing. All right, so let's take a look at the finished product. So here, see, this is where I initially messed up because I did the measurements wrong. Y'all, it was a struggle, a complete struggle, but we finally got it together. I still have to clean this up just a little bit, but man, I did not want to do that to my cabinets. I might replace that whole door. It just depends. But anyways, a again, we just did the cabinet doors, the under cabinet lighting. Chef's kiss. So everything that you see that has a cabinet door has the pulls on them. This light is really bright, so it's making it hard to kind of see the details of the pulls, but I really, really like them. It's amazing how small details can make such a huge impact. So in next week's video, we're gonna show you the decision that we made as far as the drawer is concerned. I messed up the drawer a little bit there. We'll talk about that next week. But we'll share with you the decision that we made as far as the drawers are concerned, show you the pendants. I love them. Kind of decide on which faucet we're gonna go with, and then we'll move into doing some kitchen organization after. I found some bar stools, but it's a struggle. They aren't in stock. They're super expensive, so I'm still doing some hacking, some shopping to see if I can hack the stools that I really like. But in the meantime, between time, I'ma just keep enjoying these pools because they are giving me absolutely all of my life. So thanks for watching, friends. Enjoy the rest of the sites. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. I do still see the pencil marks. We're gonna go back and clean all of that up. I just wanted to show you how things are coming along. So that's the kitchen update for right now, and we will see you in the next video, friend.